Often games or characters can be put to the side, with companies having their obvious favorites. And in a lot of ways you can't blame them. Certain IP rake in multi-million dollars, some have instant name recognition, and some sell on just sex appeal alone. The same can be said for Kirby. Everyone knows him and seems to have adoration for the little pink puffball, but he has never really garnered the same attention as Nintendo's other highly touted titles, like the Marios, the Zeldas, and so on. However, with this new title, it may sway more attention towards our overeating friend. What's going on, everyone? This is Invader, and welcome to my review for Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch. It was created by HAL Laboratory and published by Nintendo. I got this as a gift, but it retails here in Canada for about $79 Canadian currently. So is this latest Kirby title forgettable, or is it a must-have? Find out right here. We begin with Kirby just kind of minding his own business when all of a sudden a vortex appears out of nowhere and starts sucking up everything in the vicinity on planet Popstar. I mean, hey, I'd be crapping my pants if something like the Eye of Terror appeared right in front of me, but hey, Kirby held his own and bravely enters the void. He then gets thrust through the rift onto an alien world, known as the New World, with dilapidated buildings that look like they've been abandoned for millennia. Soon after crash landing on the world, you meet a native to it, a winged squirreled smurf thing named Elfilin. You find him amongst the recently destroyed buildings of a Waddle Dee town. The Waddle Dees are being imprisoned by the Beast Pack, a collection of really evil animals. Kirby, not liking the stuff that he's witnessed, makes a pact with Elfilin to rescue the Waddle Dees, and they soon set off on an adventure to free them. Believe it or not, this is Kirby's first 3D platforming adventure, which is kinda surprising considering the natural progression of some of Nintendo's other platforming darlings. However, I will say that the wait has been worth it. Kirby's main suck attack allows him to absorb the abilities of most enemies, many of whom offer a variety of weapons and attacks to add to Kirby's arsenal. One of my favorites is a ranger ability that gives Kirby a little musket to hit enemies at long range. Another that literally sticks out to me is the needle ability, that allows Kirby to roll around the level and pick up enemies with long spikes. Another one is a fire ability that allows you to direct flames at enemies and they can catch on fire. And there's many more to choose from. I think in total there's about 11 or 12, something like that, but they are pretty cool overall. To add to these abilities, you can actually upgrade them as well. Head over to the weapon shop in Waddle Dee Town and the worker there will help you out. However, you will need to collect various amounts of coins and rare gems in order to unlock these upgrades. But take it from me, it's well worth your time investing in these upgrades to improve these abilities. Not only can Kirby's suck ability be used for offensive moves, but it can also help traverse large areas and help reveal hidden locations. In Mouthful mode, you can stretch Kirby out over large items such as cars, staircases, road cones, and many more items to help you along your way. While some of these can be quite ridiculous, I've got to hand it to the team at HAL Laboratories as there's lots of creativity here, and many of them really adding positively to the overall gameplay. In particular, I liked the light bulb as it helps to illuminate and traverse dark spots, but there are many other useful abilities to choose from. At the end of each area is a boss fight, and while I enjoyed the design of the bosses themselves, the majority of the fights I found were overly simplified and just not fun. With the exception of Silly Dillo, I just didn't find them to be a challenge. Which is a real shame considering that there are some very well designed bosses here, and there's plenty of opportunities, but I just found it very routine, which is a sad shame. As for the look of the game, it's a very bright and colorful world. Most of the levels use a good variety of color palettes, from the greenery and old city of the Natural Plains to the carnival land of Wonderia and the fiery embers of the Redgar Forbidden Lands. There's a lot of cool levels here, and many of them overflow with charm and character to them. My favorite would have to be Wonderia, as I really enjoyed the level design with the carnival aesthetics and the use of lighting. However, with that being said, it's not exactly what I call a graphical juggernaut. It looks fine, but just seems to lag behind the visuals department when compared to other platformers in the genre. The musical score for the game is quite nice. It can be upbeat or more frantic when it needs to be. I wouldn't call it the most memorable musical score I've ever heard, but it's appropriate throughout the game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land took me about 9 hours to complete. That's after completing all the levels and boss fights and doing a large number of the extra Treasure Road levels. If I focused on completing everything, I probably could have spent an extra hour at it. There's also an added challenge area in the Waddle Dee town that I won't spoil, but needless to say, it's a nice addition for longtime fans to duke it out with a familiar foe. So yeah, that would take some time as well if you wanted to. And now with all that's been said, it's time to sum up the good and the bad for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Starting off with the good. The stages, areas, and levels are fun, each having a certain character and charisma to them, almost inviting you back to play them with just how enjoyable they are. The arsenal of abilities and special attacks are fun to play around with, each offering a unique attack that have a couple of levels to upgrade. Mouthful mode is a welcome addition, with a unique way to play around with Kirby and give him abilities that can help you find secret areas and much more. As well, the game offers a charming musical score. I wouldn't call it the best soundtrack out there, but it's still quite nice in its own way. To add in another point, this game does offer couch co-op. While I did not have a chance to playtest this is always a nice added benefit and adds some replayability to the mix. Moving over to the bad aspects of the game, and it's somewhat short on gameplay time. Again, I racked about 9 hours into it, and it doesn't offer a whole lot after that, unless of course you want to do another playthrough or go after some missing collectibles or upgrades. The enemies and bosses are very simple and easy to beat. Granted, this game is skewed to a much younger demographic, but I still would have liked to have seen some more challenging movesets thrown in there just to make it more interesting. As well, the graphics aren't exactly top-notch, and to be fair, the art direction is good, but in some cases it really left me wanting from some of the blurriness to some aspects of the levels. I understand that the Switch isn't a graphical powerhouse by any means, but because of that, there are some noticeable disadvantages. And with that said, I give Kirby and the Forgotten Land an overall score of 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed my time with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. In fact, I think it's one of the better 3D platformers on the Nintendo Switch. It's got unique gameplay and fun worlds to check out and explore. But with that being said, don't expect a very thought-provoking narrative or something that you're going to put a lot of time into. I do, however, think that it's worth your time, and I suggest that you do yourself a favor and check it out. And I do hope that Nintendo continues to support Kirby and give him another 3D world to explore. So what did you think of Kirby and the Forgotten Land? Is this something that you plan on playing? Let me know down in the comments section. And also, if you happen to enjoy this video, then please consider liking it and sharing it out. Until next time everyone, Invader, out.